You guys, I just watched Antman and the Wasp, Quantumania, and never have I been more disappointed in a Marvel movie. After the sheer amount of Phase 4 content, Ms. Marvel, Moon Knight, Werewolf by Night, the Groot short films, the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, She-Hulk, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, Thor Love and Thunder, and Wakanda Forever, this was supposed to be the bang to ring in Phase 5, but now I'm not even sure what the hell is going on anymore. What I want to dive into in this video is what made this movie so incredibly mediocre. And nowhere is that more evident than this one scene where Ant-Man and his daughter Cassie are fighting some faceless, useless henchmen in a muddy CGI soup. First off the top, the character of Cassie in this movie is not very compelling. The cute, precocious girl we knew in the first two Ant-Man movies, the one that had such great chemistry with Paul Rudd, has now been replaced by this new actress, and we're supposed to root for her. Apparently she got caught at a protest, wants to help people, read some of Hank's journals, and now she has created a subatomic Hubble telescope in a basement.
A subatomic Hubble telescope in a basement.
She seems smart, but I wonder how smart she really is when, after getting sucked into the quantum realm, she immediately asks, "Where are we?" Bitch, you're in the quantum realm! Didn't you just spend 5 minutes monologuing about it? Where else would you be? McDonald's? So as this scene plays out, we see Jentorra. She gets chained up by this electrical rope. She looks like she's in pain. Is it shocking her? Who the hell knows? And you can tell they definitely did not do enough pre-production to know that she'd be chained up by a bright neon blue rope when filming this. If they had, they would have taken the approach in the Doctor Strange movies, where his portals were filmed practically with a glowing orange LED light on set. That's what it takes to affect the surrounding environment, therefore letting you believe the CGI portal they eventually put in is sitting in the scene. If we take a look at what's happening here though, you can tell no such thought was put into it. What happens next is probably the shot that sticks out the most in this entire movie. Cassie shrunk down, running towards camera. Holy sh**, let's take a look at that again. And again. And again. I think even the least visual effects savvy person on the planet can point to this and tell you something is off. First, no one runs like that. This is the kind of running animation I would expect to see on CW's The Flash or something. But this is a feature-length blockbuster film. We really shouldn't be seeing this in a 2023 Marvel movie. I'll take you back to Ant-Man 1, where whenever Scott is shrunk down running towards camera, you felt the weight of him. Here, Cassie's bouncing up and down like a stop-motion puppet or something. It just don't look right. In the next shot, the tied-up Jentorra not only spots Cassie in the battlefield running towards her, but for her to process in a split second that it's Cassie and that she has to raise her arm up a little bit to help her jump, just doesn't make sense. This plays out as if the two have been in a team for a while and can help each other combo move to defeat an enemy, like in the first Avengers movie where Captain America and Iron Man worked together to defeat the Chitauri. What do these two know about each other? They just met a few minutes ago. And before we move on from this shot, I want to direct your attention to what's happening on the top left of the frame. Closer. Closer. This one henchman shoots this guy and yet nothing comes out of his gun. Am I taking crazy pills? If I, a casual viewer, can notice this, then what happened to the multiple stages this shot went through? From artist to lead to supervisor to Kevin Feige to the higher-ups at Disney? Nobody noticed this? And if we focus too much on what's going on in the background, we start to realize we don't care what the hell is happening. We don't care about these freedom fighters covered in masks and robes we barely know. The bad guys shooting at them are not intimidating at all, so there's no sense of conflict. The very next shot, which is meant to be the hero shot where we finally see Cassie in her superhero outfit, but what is supposed to be this epic reveal fell flat for me. Just take a look. That is probably the wonkiest looking landing I have ever seen. Now, let's actually look at how this reveal plays out. Cassie grows to normal size. Her mask goes up to reveal her face to the henchman? The audience? Just why would you lift up your mask here? And then once the henchman sees her and points his blaster arm at her, the mask comes down again for her to shrink. I mean, we already know in this movie masks apparently mean nothing in the quantum realm. In the last Ant-Man movie, Hank needed a whole-ass hazmat suit to venture into the distorted and lethal environment, almost going insane in the process. Yet this time around, everyone can just walk around like it's aisle 6 at Target. And if we really frame by frame the mask coming on and off, you'd think maybe they could direct the actor to tilt their head back or forward, that they could maybe blink or something from something suddenly going in front or away from their eyeballs, take a breath maybe, but nope. And before we leave this shot, bye-bye laser beam from useless henchman that goes nowhere and affects nothing. When dumbass henchman number 506 finally gets a good shot and is about to deal the finishing blow, Ant-Man comes to the rescue in what has got to be the most cartoony, rubbery, weightless jump I've ever witnessed in a Marvel movie. This belongs in a video game, like from 2014 at most. It's just not okay. And boy, it sure is nice of Kang's henchmen to give Scott and Cassie a nice pocket of space to have this chat, don't you think? Sure, you could say the same thing about Cap and Thor chatting on the battlefield in both Infinity War and Endgame, but at least those scenes looked better. Next comes a runner-up for the worst shot in a Marvel action scene. Let me tell you, the look on my face when this shot appeared on my IMAX screen, I could not believe what I was seeing. The way Ant-Man jumps from bad guy to bad guy, I could almost hear the Looney Tunes sound effects. What it tells me is that Marvel now has too many movies and shows going on that they simply don't have time to quality check every single thing anymore like they used to. And the way he grows back to normal size, let's just talk briefly about his size trails. In the first two Ant-Man movies, back when they gave a damn, you could actually have time to appreciate that each size echo effect was meticulously crafted. They had a good thing going even in the first Ant-Man, so I don't know why in this movie, the end of this trilogy, this trail looks very hastily put together. We've come a long way from what Ant-Man used to be. They used to be these fun heist capers set in the real world that featured fun and engaging action scenes. The train set battle from the first Ant-Man? Classic. The car chase with a giant Pez dispenser in the second? Inspired. And although the stakes were never world-ending, they felt personal to Scott and therefore personal to us. Gone are the days of Luis's crazy-ass stories. God, I miss those. Instead, we replaced that with this guy that looks like broccoli. Just why? What does a broccoli even mean in the quantum realm? And now, at the end of this trilogy, we end up with Quantumania. Barely recognizable as an Ant-Man movie, and barely functioning as a movie in general. It pains me to pick it apart like this, but someone has to. I'm just a guy who wants to see good movies. And in the end, don't we all? Thank you for listening to me ramble. Hey, subscribe if you enjoyed. I might make more videos just like this.